So another part of our research, national study that we did, was around workplace trauma. Workplace trauma refers to an employee experience that triggers stress, burnout, anxiety, loss of sleep, discouragement, detachment, disenchantment, depression, and zero spark. Workplace trauma and then emotional trauma is a stressful experience that leaves somebody helpless and hopeless. Let's break this down. So let's say I'm working in a place of business and something goes south. Oh, I have been here before. I ain't staying around. You know what? You snapped at me. You sent an email to me. You talked to me like I'm a junkyard dog. What? Who are you? People may not say that. They'll give you the screensaver face. The trauma they suppress and say, you know what? I'm going to get on Indeed.com because I'm about to bounce. But I need to get my check at the end of the week, so I'm going to go through the motions. Yes, everything's fine. I'm out of here. That's silently, quietly quitting. Suppressing the trauma of what happened in the environment. All right, so let's unpack this really quickly. When we did our national study, how often do you experience each of the following at work? All right, if you look at the orange bar, Gen Z, off the charts, younger millennials between 27, 35, older millennials, and Gen Xers. So you're probably saying, how are older millennials and Gen Xers able to deal with it as compared to Gen Z and younger millennials? Because older millennials and older Xers have been there, done that, got the t-shirts, said, child, this too shall pass. I wish them young people would get over it. Now, once again, you're judging them based on your experience. This might be their first job, their second place of work out of college or whatever. And something triggers in them, they don't know, like, is this the way the world of work is? In some of our other research, we did a deeper dive to find out, do people have a support system when workplace trauma is triggered? And some, 60% of the research said, some have a family or friend. But you know, the new epidemic is loneliness. So if I have no one to talk to, now I sit with this frustration and I turn to social media. That was the other part of research, or gaming, as an outlet to deal with what's been triggered. Don't have time to get into it too deeply, but let me give you some practical things to think about. Here's one more stat. 45% of working Americans say their organization is not investing in a positive future for them. So that positive future is what? It's the relationship. How do we create a relationship with individuals where they know that they are seen, valued, and understood? So here's an example. This is Jan Newton. I was invited year before, to do a session for 1,000 people from Nothing Bundt Cakes. Anybody ever experienced? Listen, Nothing Bundt Cakes that's love right there. I mean, I have a sweet tooth out of this world. It was so good. So I interviewed a ton of their general managers, and I said, Jan, who's in Mesa, Arizona, her location, I said, Jan, what did you do to create a positive relationship with your team members? And she said one of her team members, Javier, was planning to quit because he didn't see a future working for her in the business that she owned. So she said, when I open up a second location, I said, Javier, if you stick with me, I've got you. She said, I gave him a little small equity stake in my second location. She said he was so happy he didn't quit on me because he was going to go someplace else. She said now he has been able to buy his first car and his first house because he saw that it wasn't about how much I was making, but I was going to help give him a hand up, not a hand out. Amen. That's relationships. That's a positive relationship environment saying, I'm invested in where you are going, all right? Now, about a year ago, Jody and I, one of our middle daughter, Ashley, Prince Michael was her dog. Prince Michael was our grand dog. And Prince Michael had to be put down, unfortunately. And the vet came to our house and went through the whole process. And this vet turned around and sent this handwritten note to our daughter about the loss of Prince Michael, our dog. And if you read through this note, I'm about to tear up in here right now. Because I'm like, who takes the time, I'm a little old school, to write a handwritten note? Not ChatGPT, no AI. You know, nowadays we can tell the difference. Oh, that's ChatGPT. That didn't come from the heart. Ashley, our daughter, still has this note to this day. Because there's not a day or week that goes by that she doesn't meet or miss Prince Michael. Now she got booed up. I'm checking out the boyfriend. I don't know if he gonna make the cut. He hasn't replaced Prince Michael, but she's in love. She's all shook up. But my point is, all of our team members are going through different things. And we, as Dance Studio CEOs, I'm inviting us to come alongside and say, I see you. I got you, Sharon. How can I serve you? What do you need? Because it makes more sense to make sure they feel valued instead of feeling insecure and looking for another gig. How do we build that relationship? So here's a tool. What if we implement the serve communication model? Feel free to take a picture of the slide. And the serve communication model works like this. Let me find a person. Is it Christian? Christian, all right. So Christian, if you and I are in our conversation, if I'm gonna truly serve you, I'm going to ask you questions and I'm gonna listen to you, but I need to recognize the same letters that spell the word listen spell the word silent. So if I'm really tuned into where you are, Christian, you know that there's a difference between selective hearing and authentic listening. So I'm gonna listen to you, but then I'm gonna empathize with you. I'm gonna come alongside and say, you know what? I may not understand all that you're dealing with, but I'm here. My goodness, that's all people need. But then I'm going to repeat. I'm gonna say, you know what? Here's what I heard you say. Is this what you meant? I'm gonna be uber responsive. I'm gonna verify commitment. Now, let me drop a pin in commitment. CEOs of dance studios, please hear me, what I'm about to say. When we talk about accountability, there's a difference between rational commitment and emotional commitment. Rational commitment is I'm here in Orlando, Florida at the Rosen Center Hotel. This is really awesome, great session. Is he done yet? Okay. The person that has the rational commitment has what is called, I have to do this. Emotional commitment is I want to do this. And if you have the want to, you'll get a chance to. So when I talk about verifying commitment, just check your heart and say, everything that I've written down, everything that we talked about in the Brilliant Agreement, do I really want to do this? Because that becomes your takeaway to being accountable to yourself and growing your business, all right?